hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie and I have 10 Easter DIYs for you, all using supplies from the Dollar Tree. So let's get started. Our first one, I want to make a giant fluffy bunny to hang on my wall using some of these microfiber mop heads from the Dollar Tree and like a little tinsel egg and a bunny head made out of tinsel as well. I love using these tinsel items for their cages because you can always DIY them and make them really cute, a lot better than this cheap like tinsel stuff. So what I'm going to do is kind of put the two together. So I'm just going to remove all of the tinsel from the egg, and that is going to be like the bunny body to hang on the wall. And then, of course, the bunny head is going to be its head. Now, the egg was a little bit easier to clean up than the bunny because the bunny's got like paper and eyes and ears and all that kind of stuff. But basically, you can just kind of cut it, get it loose, and it's pretty easy to unwrap. And when you're done, you have a great cage to DIY however you'd like. If you can't find this, you could probably do the same thing with the wire bunny head and the wire egg. They have them both in wiry forms as well at the Dollar Tree. But we're going to do the plastic with this one. So as you can see, some of the places you just have to go in and cut it because it's really wrapped tight, and then you can usually just pull it right off. There we go. We have the bunny head and the bunny body. The egg is shaped perfectly, I think, for the bunny body. So these are the little microfiber mop heads from the Dollar Tree. I love these. They're so fluffy. I love to DIY with them. And I'm going to cover this entire thing with the little mop heads. So I'm just going to start with one piece and just hot glue that to our cage just around the edges here. Anywhere where I can get a place to put a bead of that hot glue. And just making sure I'm covering the whole egg, I'm just going to kind of lay it on there with one side kind of matching up to the side. And then once I've got it secure, then I'm going to flip it over and kind of cut it down to size, just using some sharp scissors. When you do cut that microfiber, it does kind of shed a little bit. So just try to cut like that fabric on the back if you can. And just pull off any of the excess strings. So basically, I just want to cover the cage. I want to cover all those little tabs that are sticking out on the side. And so that looks pretty good, and we can keep wrapping this with the microfiber mop heads. I've made so many things with these. I've made Christmas trees, like snowy Christmas trees. I love DIYing with these. They're so fluffy. I've even made, they make cute gnome beards as well. So just using another solid piece, I am just going to place hot glue across the cage and just line it up right next to the next one. I'm just trying to get as much coverage as I can out of one of those mop heads. And as you can see, 2 mop heads pretty much covers the egg. There's a little bit of room left here. But I do like to cut it after I get it on there so that I can get it cut down perfectly right to size. So I do have a little piece that I cut off from the bottom. That's going to be the perfect scrap size to fill up this top part. So basically 2 mop heads to do the egg shape. And then I'm going to string in just a piece of twine so that I can tie that to the head of the bunny so I can connect them together. And I'm just going to trim off all that excess. Trying to pull off any of the loose strings as well. And it gives me a nice little fluffy body. So now we're going to do the same thing here with a little bunny head, just trying to get as much coverage as I can. As you can see, that cage kind of goes up and down, so it's a little bit more challenging than the egg, but basically if you can get pretty good coverage across, you can kind of just push that down in there and just going around the little bunny cheeks and cutting out that shape. we're going to keep moving up and doing the same thing. But first, before I cover up too much, I'm just going to replace the hanger with just another piece of twine. There was an existing little hole hanger on there, so that's going to be the perfect way to hang it. Now, this microfiber mop head, I just kind of had to go over the face and part of the ears, and just, again, cutting it down to size. So just going to kind of go around the ears, just cut out any of the excess there. And let's see, we've used a total of 4 of the mop heads so far. So it looks like a total of 5. I'm just going to cut this last one in half. That way you can do one for each ear. And when you lay them up next to each other, you can get a pretty close seam in between. When you fluff it out, it kind of looks like one continuous piece of fluff. And this turned out so cute. This would match any kind of Easter decor, I think. And I think kids would really like this one as well. It's super cute. So I got that glued to both of my ears, just trimming off the excess. And there's our little fluffy bunny head, our little fluffy egg that we're going to use as the body. And then I wanted to make a fluffy tail, and I found this actually in the toy department at Dollar Tree. It's like a, I guess like a feathery, fluffy pipe cleaner. I'm not really sure. And I'm just wrapping it in circles just to make a big bunny tail. You can kind of use whatever you've got, but I loved the color of this. It's perfect to go with my coastal decor in my house, and I thought it would make a good bunny tail. So I'm just gluing that down to the bottom of the bunny, and it's going to be just the back of the bunny, a fluffy bunny back. So now I'm going to take that twine that we tied on the egg part for the body and just simply tie these together. So super easy. This is going to give you a nice large DIY for your wall. It really makes a big impact. Now I wanted to do something like a bow around the neck, and so I'm going to use some of this beautiful like mint green bluish ribbon from the Dollar Tree, the burlap. It's almost the same exact color as that cute little bunny tail. So I'm just going to tie that simply around the bunny's neck and kind of like knot it into a just a little tie around its neck, and kind of tie it over to the side since it is the bunny's back, you know, and not really the front. And then I'm just going to go in and dovetail that as well. And then I kind of wanted to make it look like a bow, so I'm going to take some more of that burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree and just kind of loop it like that. And we're just going to do kind of a faux bow using just a zip tie. It's going to give me a perfect little bow exactly where I need it to be. And I just kind of overlapped it there at the bottom and looped it up into a bow, and then just zip tied that on to the ribbon that we tied around the neck. Just a simple, cute little bow. And that burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree is wired, so it does kind of keep its shape nicely. Super cute. We're not going to do anything else to this because it's kind of, you know, just the back of the fluffy bunny. But this is how it turned out. I think it's so cute for Easter, and everything came from the Dollar Tree. Look at that cute little tail. Okay, our next DIY is super easy. This is a DIY I made for my Easter coffee bar using some wood products from the Crafter Square. We got a little wood fence and a little wood slat crate. And I thought we could make a little carrot patch for Easter. But I did want to stain the raw wood, so I'm just using some antique wax by Waverly. And I love this little fence design. It did have a hanger on the back. I just took that off and just staining all over. It really, anytime you stain any of this Dollar Tree wood, it looks really impressive. You would never know that you got this from the Dollar Tree. I do use a smaller brush to go in between there so you can kind of get all of it stained. And then I'm going to go over the crate with the antique wax by Waverly and stain that as well. I kind of want to make just a little garden inside the crate with like the fence behind it kind of as the background. And then we can decorate that with carrots and a little bunny. So I just hot glue the little fence on top of the bin, just like that. It's not super steady like that. So I'm going to use a popsicle stick and just cut that down to size to make a little brace to make sure that that stays in place. And this was just a quick, easy little Easter DIY. You could put this anywhere. I've got lots of little carrot patch ideas for you today. And this is one of them. This one's pretty small. You could do this pretty much for anything. I used it for my coffee bar, but it'd be great on a tier tray as well. So I just fill it up with some reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree and those little like rope or string, I guess, wrapped carrots from the Dollar Tree. Just enough to fill it to size. I noticed some of the greenery on some of them are a little different depending on what year you buy it. But I filled it all the way up with like 8 of the little carrots, and then I thought we could go in with one of these cute little bunny bums. They come like on a little pick like this, and this one has like the little peak feet. I'm just cutting the skewer down to size so it's not too tall. And then we're just gonna have it like diving head first into our little carrot patch. And then I also wanted to add a little bit of that onion grass from the Dollar Tree just to give me a little bit more greenery than just the reindeer moss. So I just pull those off and kind of cut them down to size because they were a little bit too tall. But we're just gonna fill this in a little bit. Making little carrot patches for Easter is always a lot of fun. And then I wanted to do a little bit more greenery, so I did find some more Dollar Tree greenery that I had. Something that would kind of remind me a little bit of some leafy tops to some carrots. And I worked that in as well, just kind of cutting down some individual leaves and filling that in until it's nice and full. The carrot patch is always kind of forgiving because it doesn't really matter what kind of greenery you use in there, as long as you've got something. And there's our little carrot patch with our little bunny bum sticking out. And this is how it looks on my coffee bar for Easter. Super cute, super simple, but also really fun. Okay, are you ready for another Easter DIY? I picked up one of these little Easter bunny gnomes at the Dollar Tree. This one is a tinsel one, which you know I'm not going to let that stand. But the little bunny, the little bunny gnome beard and nose is really cute, and the cage is perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the tags and the hanger here and deconstruct this. So I pull off the little fluffy edge here that was at the bottom of the hat. It was just glued on, and then just going to pull off all of that tinsel. This cage is a little bit different than a lot of the cages that I DIY from the Dollar Tree. As you can see, it's like all one piece. And you don't even have to have the bunny version to do this. They have this for Christmas, Valentine's Day, whichever one you've got, you can DIY this with it. You just need that cute little hat. And I'm going to cover mine with a burlap. I got this burlap at Walmart. It is just by the yard. It's only a couple of dollars a yard. It's a great way to get burlap, but you could always use the little burlap bags they have there now. And I just cut a piece down to size. Now, what I didn't like about it is that you could see through the burlap. You could kind of see that weird like little hole that was cut in there. So I am going to have to double up the burlap to make it not quite so transparent. So I'm just going to kind of cut that down a little bit bigger than my little gnome hat. And we're going to give him just a nice kind of coastal vibe burlap hat. But, you know, this would kind of go with about anything. So that looks good. We're going to flip him over and just start attaching the burlap to the back just by wrapping it around and hot gluing it down. I thought it might be easier just to flip it and sit it in the glue. Then to try to burn myself. And then I'm going to go around and do the same thing here on the other side. Just a very simple little hat. The great thing about this is that you only have to cover the front, so you're not going to be wasting any materials that you don't need to because you're not going to be able to see it back there. And you can kind of see what it looked like with one. You could definitely see through it, so I am doubling that up, and I did make it a little longer than it needs to be. It's kind of going over the nose a little bit, but I will trim that down to size once I get both pieces glued down here to the back. And that gives me a nice clean edge on the side since I wrapped it around. And then I'm just going to kind of glue the tip as well. Now that I have it secured, I can just use my scissors. I'm just kind of feeling around exactly where the hat needs to stop and just trimming that down to size and trimming off the little corners. So that's what he looks like so far. I do want to make him into a bunny gnome though. So I got a couple different bunny ears. These are the ones from the Target Dollar Spot, I believe, but they do have these at Dollar Tree as well. It's not quite the right colors that I wanted, but I do like the little white fluffy ears. So we're just going to cut off the ears off the little headband and DIY this to kind of match my decor. What I wanted was blue, of course, so I got some of this blue gingham ribbon from the Dollar Tree that I'm just going to replace the yellow gingham that was already on there with it. So I'm just cutting that fabric out. It's going to leave me like the white fluffy ears and the little plastic structure inside the ear. So I just kind of have to piece this all back together now. So it was kind of falling apart. So I'm just going to hot glue the little fuzzy ears around the little plastic cage so that will kind of stay in place. And then we can replace the center part with that ribbon. Just a cute way to make the DIY kind of match your decor, whether or not you can find some of these bunny ears you like. These were cute, but I really wanted mine to be blue. I like to use blue in almost all of my seasonal decorations because it goes with my coastal farmhouse vibe in my house. So I just trimmed that fabric out of the second ear and I'm hot gluing that to the cage as well. And now I'm just going to use the fabric that I cut out of the bunny ears for a template to cut that ribbon down. The ribbon was just the right size. And I'm also cutting off the wire part because I don't really need that. And that looks pretty good. I'm just going to trim them up a little bit because you're going to be able to see that exact shape. So I kind of want my edges to be straight. And then I'm just going to hot glue those to my bunny ears. I'm not really sure what kind of the bunny ears, what they look like this year. A lot of times they have like, I think the pink fluffy ones with fabric in there. But the great part about this is that I still have that structure in there, so they kind of stick out. They're a little bit more substantial. And I'm just going to glue that to the brim of my hat right here. I haven't put anything down there to replace like the white trim that was on there before. That way I can now finish it all up and finish up like the rough edges of my bunny ears. So I just attach both of those to the bottom of the hat with that. Now I need some white fluff to cover that up like that was on there before. And so I'm actually just going to use the white fluff that was on my headband. I'm just going to trim that off. And just a simple way to make sure that I'm using all my craft supplies without having to buy something new. But you could kind of use whatever you had. You could use rope, you could use fabric, anything like that would work. But I kind of like the white fluffy. It's going to go with the white fluffy that's on the ears. So I just pulled that off the headband and trimmed it down into a nice, cute little strip. And that's going to be perfect. And it's going to match the ears perfectly. So I just hot glue that kind of over the little gnome nose and then around the sides. Oh, somebody told me on my last St. Patrick's Day gnome video that gnomes like this, that where you can only see the nose, are actually called gonks. I had never heard that before, the word gonk, G-O-N-K. So I thought that was interesting. I did not know that. She said that gnomes are actually when you can see their face and not these. These are called gonks. So here's a little Easter gonk, I guess. I always called them gnomes though. But I think he turned out so cute. I hung him on the side of my cabinet, in my kitchen, our little Easter bunny gnome. Or gonk. I can't get used to that. That's a funny word though, right? Okay, our next DIY, I'm going to use an Easter sign and a couple of other items here. This is just like the Easter bunny stop here sign that I had left over because I used the little bunnies that were on the front to make an adorable little banner for the front of my coffee bar. So we're just going to decorate the back of this one. I'm using some of that removable wallpaper from the Dollar Tree, the white boards, and I am just covering that on the back. I didn't cut it. I just made it it was a little bit bigger, of course. And then I'm just using a sanding block to give myself a perfect cut along the edges. And you guys know I love to decorate with this removable wallpaper because it's so darn easy. And you can cover just about anything. I did the back just because the other side had a lot of glitter on it. I didn't want any raised edges. I wanted a nice smooth surface. I'm going to rough it up a little bit with a sanding sponge to kind of break up some of those, like, you know, bold lines that were on there before. Kind of give it like a little bit more of a weathered coastal vibe. And then I'm going to use this cute little decal from the Dollar Tree of this little blue truck. I thought that was so cute. It's got a bunny and eggs in the back. And I thought this would make a really cute little Easter sign. Especially with that like white background, I think that looks so cute. And then I also have the little Happy Easter word that was on there. It's a little too big for my sign, but that's okay. You can always cut some pieces off if you have a decal that doesn't quite fit what you're going to do. And we can make a really cute little Happy Easter sign by using those two window decals. I love crafting with window decals from the Dollar Tree. It's so much easier than, you know, getting your Cricut out and making your own designs and stuff like that. You can put together a sign like this really easily. So I got my signs, or my decals cut down to where they'll fit. And now I'm just going to use some matte Mod Podge from the Dollar Tree and adhere that to that removable wallpaper. I really like the colors on this one. Super pretty. And this would pretty much go with any kind of decor. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the little blue truck. You can kind of see, you know, the lines through it, but it kind of gives it more of that like hand-painted feel that you can kind of see the background through it. So I'm not too worried about that. So I get a nice thin coat of that Mod Podge down, and we're just going to lay our little blue truck on there. I love a little blue truck. I always think it looks coastal and beachy and super cute with the little bunny and the eggs hanging out of the back. I'm just trying to smooth that down, trying to get out any bubbles before it starts drying. And then we're also going to Mod Podge over the top to seal this all down and make sure that this is not going to go anywhere. And I like to go over the entire sign, not just where there's decals, to kind of give myself a finished sheen that's the same all over. Once I get that dry, I'm just going to reattach the hanger here that came with the sign. And then I like to also kind of distress my signs when I use decals to kind of make them have kind of more of that hand-painted look. I'm just going to use some ivory paint and a little chunky brush from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to lightly distress all over this to kind of break up the perfect look of the decal, just to make it look a little bit cuter. The watercolor design of that little truck, though, is just adorable. And don't worry about distressing if you get too much on there. You can always go back over carefully with a baby wipe and get that perfect level of distress. I got it all done, and then I decided I didn't really like the hanger that was on there before, so we're going to replace it. I found some really cute wood bead garland from the Easter department at Dollar Tree, and I thought that would make a really cute, colorful hanger for that. So this is it. It's like pink and like purple and blues, so cute. And so I'm just going to use that to make a new hanger. I love these wood bead garlands they are doing at Dollar Tree right now. They are just so cute and they save you so much work. And for $1.25, you can't beat it. So I just untied the little bunny that was on there, and I'm just going to feed that through the back, leaving it on the existing twine that's on there. And I thought, I don't really want to waste that bunny. He's super cute. So I just popped him back on there before I tied it off. And we'll have a little pink bunny charm here for the front. A lot of times I will take those end pieces off to use those wood bead garlands and then forget to reuse them. So I actually used this little guy. The only hard part was trying to get it tied off on there. And then using the existing hanger, I want to see about how long I want that to be, and then I can just cut that off a little bit longer and string that in from the back and tie that into the front. I always like to tie the knots on the front. I find that these Dollar Tree signs always hang better. And you could use just about any kind of Dollar Tree sign you have laying around for this DIY, because you're pretty much covering most of it up. And this is how it turned out. I also have this one hanging in my kitchen for Easter. Super cute. I love like kind of the coastal farmhouse vibe of it, but it's also really colorful for spring and Easter. Okay, our next DIY, we're going to try a different kind of a carrot patch, just using a plastic pot from the Dollar Tree. I really liked this one because it, even though I didn't really like the colors, it's got like a great wood texture on it, and I thought it'd be really cute to try to DIY. So I'm going to use some ivory chalk paint, and we are going to paint this a nice, you know, kind of an antique white color. I really like to use that in my DIYs. I have a lot of that in my house. I find it goes really well with my beach decor and the blues that I use a lot in my house. And I'm using chalk paint just because I really wanted good coverage to go over all of those dark colors. But I really do like the texture on this sign because you can kind of still see it, kind of makes it look like wood. And I thought we could make this big pot into another version of a carrot patch, kind of on a larger scale. This would be really cute for your front porch for Easter, or you could use it inside as well. So I got all of the sides painted and just around the lip. I'm not really going to worry about the bottom. You're not going to be able to see that, or the inside. So that's how it looks, and now we need to start filling it up. I kind of pairing together just some leftover foam pieces I have from the Dollar Tree from other DIYs, just because I kind of have a lot of space to fill up in there, but you can kind of use whatever you've got. And then on top of that, I'm just going to put some reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree in there to give me a nice little greenery background for my little carrot patch. And then I found some of these green picks from the Dollar Tree in their crafter square section. I love these. I thought these were really cute. They're very like fern-like, and they're a nice size, and they're just picks that you can just stab down into that foam and give a nice effect there. I wanted to kind of go all the way around, so I'm using 2 packages there of, so a total of 6. And then these little bottle brush Christmas, they're like Christmas trees, but they're the carrots from the Dollar Tree. And I just got several packages of those. I think those are so cute. I love to DIY with these. They look so high-end from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to start piling those little bottle brush carrots around. The texture makes them really easy to stick in with the greenery and stay put. Now for the little bunny that's going to be sticking out of this one, I thought we would use these little bunny paw picks from the Dollar Tree and have like a big bunny sticking out of this with little bunny legs going up in the air. I love the fact that it's like a blue and white gingham on the bunny legs, so I think that'll totally match my decor. And little pink toes. They're kind of skinny, I think, for a bunny leg, but we're gonna work with it. I am gonna cut the picks down a little bit because they were a little bit too long. And just kind of stab those right in the center of our foam here. And this is just gonna be just a way bigger version of the carrot patch. Now once I get them in there, I'm going to use a little bit more of that greenery that I have, and we're just going to keep filling this up just to make it look a little bit fuller. The bunny is like deep in there. And then I also am going to use a few more of those little bottle brush carrots, just kind of scattering those around, filling it up for our little carrot patch. I'm going to finish it off with a little bit more reindeer moss around the edges, just to make sure it's full and you can't see any of the foam around it. And this DIY is almost complete. Once I get it nice and full, I do want to decorate the pot a little bit. I do like that white wood look, but I thought we'd add a few more bunnies to it. And I got some of these cute little, I guess they're like little felt craft kits from the Dollar Tree, where they have these cute little white felt bunnies in there, and I thought we could DIY something with these. So it's like the white bunny, it's got like the eyes and like the little toe pads like already on there. And then it also comes with like a few more pieces like the little bow ties and stuff like that. And I thought we would just kind of glue these all around the edges of the pot to make a cute little bunny pot. Super cute and a great way to get a bunch of little bunnies to craft with. I'm just using the bunny part and just going to attach that with hot glue, kind of scatter those all the way around the pot. I didn't really use any of the other pieces that were in there, like there was a little bow tie and stuff like that. I thought that was a little too colorful. I just kind of wanted a white bunny pot for a little carrot patch. And I have enough of these, I think, to go all the way around this large pot. And they're so easy to attach with just a little bit of hot glue. I'm using like just the like little lines on there to kind of space them out evenly. Just to try to give me a more finished spacing there on the final product. And we're going to keep gluing those all the way around our little carrot patch. And this one is almost finished. I love it. And again, with the carrot patch, you can use whatever greenery you have on hand. And you could also use the other kinds of carrots for this as well. But I really like those bottle brush ones. Super cute. And this is how my little bunny pot turned out. I think this would be really cute on a front porch for Easter. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about my private Facebook group. I have it linked below as well as my Facebook page. You're going to want to follow both. And then I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. And my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube, and I would love to see you at any and all of those. Okay, let's do some more Easter crafts. I found this great little bunny gnome at the Dollar Tree, and you know I love it because it's blue. It's this light blue color. I thought we could give this little bunny gnome just a cute little makeover, just to give him a few more details. I thought he was a little bit plain. The bunny ears are so cute, his little beard and nose as well. And I'm totally digging like that striped blue hat. I'm just going to kind of trim off any excess glue on there and just try to make him look a little bit nicer. I kind of wanted to decorate his hat, and so I'm going to use some of those white felt letters from the Dollar Tree and spell out a word. I don't have a lot of room to spell out a word on there, but I thought it'd be really cute to do like hop on there. That would be a really cute little Easter word. And so I'm just feeling through there. I like to use the felt on the fabric hats for gnomes because, or I guess gonks. I'm never going to remember to call it that because it goes well with the fabric. And so they're also stickers, so how easy is that? You can just peel and stick. And it just kind of provided a little bit more decoration and fun to the little hat. But I do like his ears. His ears are kind of perfect. And I don't really want to do much with his outfit. He does have little blue feet. I do trim off the tag, and then I got some of this like gingham egg ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I thought we would just have him hold an Easter egg. So the blue one is perfect. The colors are perfect on that one. So I'm just going to pull that off, the twine that was on there, and then I'm just going to attach that to the front of our little Easter gnome to make it look like he's holding it. And it just provided a little bit more a little bit more pizzazz. So I just glue that onto his tummy. And he does have these like little flat blue arms there. I'm just going to glue his, like where his hands would be, just kind of overlapping the egg. And this was just a really quick Easter DIY. I'm loving all of the big gnomes that they have at the Dollar Tree now. I just, did a whole bunch of them for my St. Patrick's Day tier tray. They're so cute. And there he is. Just a quick little makeover for this little bunny gnome. And this is how he turned out, our little hop bunny gnome. This looks really cute. It goes nicely with that one that we made to hang on the wall. Okay, check out this cute little bunny. I love him because he's got blue overalls on. I don't really like the glitter, but I thought we would give him a little makeover, make a little porch sitter for my front porch for Easter. He's nice and long, and I thought we could just DIY him a little bit. So I just popped off the top of his hat, any of the like little pieces that were bumped out there. He had a little hand that was like, you know, holding a carrot. Be careful when you pull it off though. It's really easy to tear the paper that was on there, which I did, but I'm just using some of that spray adhesive from the Dollar Tree to kind of glue that back down. And basically, I like the bunny. I think his shape's great. I just don't want the glitter on there. It's not really going to go with my vibe. But if you like it, this DIY is going to be even easier for you. So I'm just sanding it down a little bit, trying to take off just some of the excess glitter that's on there, and then we can decorate this little guy. I love to kind of take what they've got and kind of add my own touches and make it more my style. So I got it cleaned up a little bit. I'm not going to have a hanging bunny though, so I am going to just kind of fill in just the little holes on the top of the ears with a little spackle, just to clean that up a little bit so we don't have some holes on the top of his ears. I gave that a quick dry till it turned white, and then I'm just going to sand off the excess spackle. And then I wanted to add some burlap details. So I'm going to use some of this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And basically we're going to cover his little bunny ears with the burlap to kind of take away from that glitter that was on there before and kind of add like a coastal detail. So I just cut that down to size and cut it in a rounded shape so it'll fit perfectly on his little ear. And then I'm just going to Mod Podge that on. Since it's fabric, I thought Mod Podge would work well. So I really want like a lot of like blue details mixed with the burlap. It's going to go kind of with the coastal farmhouse vibe of my house. But you can decorate ears any way you like. I really like how the burlap looks on its ears though, compared to how the glitter looked. So the other half, I'm just going to cut that down to size as well. Simply rounding the ear. And it's okay if you can see like a little bit of the pink glitter through it. It just definitely tones it down a lot. And this is the perfect size to sit on a table next to your front door. Makes a perfect porch sitter for your front porch for Easter. So I got that second one on there. I'm just going to use some Mod Podge to glue that down and make sure it's good and stuck. Now for like the paws and the nose, I don't really want to cover those. They're a little too small to cover with burlap. And so I just toned those down with some more of that matte Mod Podge just to kind of make them not quite so sparkly. And then I'm going to reattach the little hat here, sealing in those little burlap ears. I did rough it up a little bit around the edges with my sanding sponge just to kind of give it a more rustic vibe. Now, I don't really like the little purple bow tie, so I thought we would use that same burlap ribbon and just cut down a couple pieces of that, kind of layering them together so you can't really see through it, tying that off in the middle with twine, and just going to make a simple little burlap bow tie to kind of add to what was already on there. So that looks good. It's okay if it's a little bit frayed. It's going to kind of add to the charm. Just going to glue that on there. And we're going to keep working down our bunny, kind of replacing the areas that I don't like, that kind of I think need a new touch with some of that burlap. Just adds a lot more charm and character to this little bunny. So again, he has a little purple pocket. So I'm going to use that as a guide to cut down that ribbon as well. And you can use whatever kind of burlap you have for this. They have like the actual burlap rolls at the Dollar Tree now. That would be really cute as well. So just gluing on a little pocket. He's got a blue like gingham shirt. I love that. And I love his little like blue overalls. And then the only other thing there is he does have a patch as well. I thought it'd be really cute to replace the little glitter carrot that he has with one of these little yarn wrapped carrots from the Dollar Tree. This is kind of one of the bigger ones. And I just kind of glue that on there on top of where the carrot would be. And then we can reattach his little bunny, I guess, paw, hand to the carrot to make it hold it. And just another fun little detail to make it more 3D. And then just using a scrap piece of that burlap, we're going to finish off that little patch on his knee and glue that on. And see how cute he is becoming? I love him. He's so fun. Now I wanted to find a way to make him stand up for my front porch. And so I found a really good idea that worked really well, and it was so easy. One of these little paper towel holders from the kitchen department at the Dollar Tree, I thought would make a perfect stand. It's skinny, he's skinny, so I can kind of hide it just in the back of him like that. It's got a base, and it's kind of strong and heavy where it's going to make him stand up and not blow over. I just need a way to attach it to the back. And so I just do a bead of hot glue down both sides and just stick that to the back of that. Look how perfect that is. It's like it's made for it. And then I'm also going to use a little bit more hot glue to make sure that it stays on there. Super easy, just some fun details on this little guy, and this is how he turned out. My little bunny shelf sitter for spring, or porch sitter, I guess. Holding a little carrot. So cute. That base worked really well. I'll have to remember that idea. Okay, the next DIY is going to be a coffee bar sign. For an Easter coffee bar, I am using a thrift flip sign that I have remade probably 15 times on this channel. This was like Blue Moose coffee. This was a winter coffee bar that I had designed, and I attached this little moose from the Target dollar spot, and I did like a hand paint stain on this. But we're going to kind of just convert this sign that I've converted over and over into an Easter sign for my coffee bar. And again, I really like that blue color. I use that for the winter, but I'm also going to use that for the Easter too. So just trying to clean up any of the damage that I had on there. Sometimes I regret using hot glue. But seriously, this sign has been through it. If you can find a good board sign like this from Goodwill, you can just reuse it and reuse it. So I kind of want some good coverage here, so I'm going to use just some ivory chalk paint that I had to go over everything because I kind of stained it before and I was really kind of worried about coverage, and so I'm trying to get a nice thick coat, just kind of a white background, just so I can start with a fresh canvas. And then I'm going to go back and paint it blue. I usually have it blue, but I definitely wanted to cover up any of that stain that was on there before, so just going over that with a couple coats of white. What I want to do is to make like a Peter Cottontail carrot patch sign for my coffee bar. So this is the color I'm using. It's just an acrylic paint that I got at Target. Caribbean blue. I don't like my Target quit carrying like the cheap acrylic paints. And so I really stocked up when they all went on clearance. But I hate that they don't carry the cheap ones anymore. They only have like the more expensive brands. But I really do like this color. And anytime I get any paint like dripping down in there, I can kind of just go in with a little Cricut tool and clean that up a little bit. just giving myself a nice blue coat. I love to do like a hand-painted sign. That's probably my favorite thing that I use my Cricut for. And so that's what we're going to do with this sign once we get it painted a nice color of blue. And if you're scared of your Cricut, I'm going to kind of show you how I do mine really quickly. I just do a square shape on there so I know exactly what size I need. Then I change the size. I can even change the color to kind of simulate exactly the size of my background so I know exactly how large to make my letters. So I have 2 blue rectangles because I'm going to paint on 2 of the little blue like panels, I guess, of it. And then I'm going to have it say Peter Cottontails. And then I'm going to have it say Carrot Patch. The 2 different fonts that we're going to use today are the Honest Darling. I think that one's really cute. We're going to use that for Peter Cottontails. And then we're going to use DTC Peach Cakes for the Carrot Patch part. I like to mix up my fonts if I can. And I think that the DTC, I'm not sure, maybe both of these you have to have the subscription, but even if you don't have the Design Space subscription, they have some really cute fonts if you want to play around with it a little bit. I really like the DTC ones though. I think they have some really cute ones. So that is the one we're going to go with, and I just kind of scaled it to size so it'll fit perfectly on my little boards. And the little, shapes are just there to show me as a little guide. But then I'm going to go in and delete those and just leave myself with the white vinyl, and that's going to cut it out. Now, it's nice and long, so I need to use my 12 by 24 mat. You can grab your designs and kind of move them around here before you cut it. That way, your stencil, you're going to get a little bit more of the stencil background to protect your surface that you're painting. So I just cut that out. This is stencil vinyl that I get on Amazon. It's always available in my shop, my Amazon shop below. I love it. I got a big roll of this and I've been using it for years. And I'm starting to finally get low on it, but I have really used this for so many projects. And it works great. It doesn't take any of your paint off or anything like that. The only thing about weeding like these cursive fonts like this, you got to be really careful. Like the middle of your letters stay down in between all of those little cursive letters. And I'm just using my Cricut Bright Pad to help weed it, but see how much easier it is to weed the DTC one. And I just cut them down into strips, 1 for each board. And then I like to use, this is paper, transfer paper. I get this on Amazon as well. It's in my shop. They have it in a 6-inch or 12-inch roll, and it lasts forever too. And I love it because it doesn't interfere with anything. It's not too sticky, so it usually does a pretty good job of leaving the vinyl down. And so I only like to really paint the top 2 rows of this because I have things sitting in front of it on my coffee bar. So we're just going to kind of line these up over on the right side and make it say Peter Cottontail's Carrot Patch. So I'm going over it first with just a coat of ivory on both, just using a sponge brush. And then I want Carrot Patch to be orange, so I'm going back in with this pumpkin color. Now I didn't have that down super good, so not perfect, but I'm going to distress it anyway because I like that coastal farmhouse vibe, so not too concerned about it. But I'm just going to weed out all of the vinyl that's left on there. If I can clean up some of the damage, I will. But otherwise, I'm just going to go in and sand and distress it more. And then distress the whole thing with some ivory, acrylic, and a chunky brush. And it's going to forgive any errors. Good errors. It's going to make it look really cute. And if I can't get it too good, I'll go back in with the original color and kind of touch it up a little bit. But easy peasy, we have a hand-painted sign. And then I got this great little Happy Easter sign from the Dollar Tree. I love the little bunny head on there. And I thought we could DIY him. So he was a little hanging sign that had carrots and stuff on him as well. We're just going to take the hanger off and take off the carrots. We can always use those for another project. I must have had this sitting like on my wet wipes or something. As you can tell, it did pick up a little bit of moisture there. But he's really cute. He's like a white wood look. It totally goes with like my coastal farmhouse vibe in my house. And he's even got like a little burlap bow on his head. He's super cute. I'm just going to use hot glue to pop him on our sign. And as you can see, maybe because he got a little bit wet there, the paper on one of his ears was kind of lifted up a little bit. It wasn't glued down, so we're just going to repair that real quick with just a little more hot glue. And he's so cute. We don't have to paint him or anything. Now his bow just kind of fell off on its own. It wasn't very secure. So I'm just trying to remove any hot glue. And then I thought I would fill the little holes in his ears just with a little bit of spackle, just to clean that up a little bit, since he's not hanging anymore. And since it's a white color, that spackle is going to kind of match in there. Anytime I fill holes with spackle, I always have to go back in. I don't know, maybe I don't use enough the first time. And then I thought it'd be cute just to add a few carrots on here, just because it is a little carrot patch sign. And so I got some of these little wood carrot ornaments from the Dollar Tree, and I thought those would make a nice addition to our little Easter sign. So I thought 2 would probably be plenty. Again, we're just going to fill in the little hole there with some spackle. I really wish they wouldn't make everything like this from the Dollar Tree, like an ornament, and put a hole in it automatically, because a lot of times you're not going to want a hole in it. That's one thing I notice when I buy like the ocean creature shapes on Amazon. They don't have holes, but the ones from the Dollar Tree I always have to kind of, you know, patch. So I'm going to paint like the leafy part of the carrot just like a light green. The color there is Luna Moth. And then we're going to use that pumpkin color to come in here and paint our carrots orange. Easy peasy. Just a couple carrots to decorate our side. Then once I get them dry, I'm going to distress them with a little bit of ivory as well, just to kind of go with my coastal farmhouse vibe. It's going to kind of make it coordinate a little bit better with that sign. And I thought we could just kind of attach those carrots to the front. Since it is a carrot patch sign, I thought we needed some carrots for sure. And this is how it turned out, our little Peter Cottontail's carrot patch sign at the top of my coffee bar for Easter. So adorable. Okay, the next DIY I have for you is really easy. It's another carrot patch idea using one of these little metal buckets from the Dollar Tree with an adorable little bunny on there. It's all painted on there already. You're ready to go for $1.25. You have a little perfect base for a carrot patch. So I'm just going to fill this little bucket with some reindeer moss just to give myself some greenery. You could always use some foam if you don't want to use quite as much moss, but I did want a little bit of depth so that I could stand my carrots up in there. And using these little string or yarn wrapped carrots from the Dollar Tree, we're just going to pile those in there. And this is the easiest carrot patch idea that we've had today. So easy. This would be really cute on a tier tray, coffee bar, pretty much anywhere you could tuck this. And how can you get any easier than this? All you gotta do is just put a little bit of reindeer moss in there. The carrots are already ready to go. I love those. I love those almost as much as the bottle brush ones. They're just so cute. You can do so many different things with them. And every year I buy them, even though I already have them, because I'm always like, you can't have too many carrots for Easter, right? Just like I can't have too many bunnies. So I just go around with that reindeer moss until I get it good and full. And that's all there is to it. Super easy little carrot patch idea. Anybody could do this one. This would be a really fun DIY to get the kids involved with. And I think they'd really like it. Cottontail Farms, super cute. Okay, our next DIY is going to be one of these bunnies they have every year at the Dollar Tree. This is the white one. I love the size of him. He's really cute. We are going to decorate him for my coffee bar. And I was kind of doing like a farm theme, and I thought we would make him some clothes. So I'm going to use one of these little blue baby blankets from the Dollar Tree. I love this color, and the felt is so easy to DIY with because it's not going to fray when you cut it. And I thought we could make some little bunny clothes. Now, I can't say that I'm skilled at making like doll clothes, but we're just going to kind of wing it here. So I just laid it on the front of him, and I'm just kind of cutting down a shape that's going to cover most of the front of the bunny because I want to make him little bib overalls. So I'm just going to cut like a little bib front there. I cut that down to kind of go underneath his ears, and I also cut like a little space to make little legs for the overalls. And then I thought we could cut some more of that for the back of him and cover up the back of him to make just little overalls. I want him to look like a little farmer bunny, and I really wanted him to have a little bit of blue on his outfit. So the piece I cut out for the back, I'm just going to hot glue that to the sides of the bunny. And I think they have this bunny in like white and brown maybe. I know they had more than one color the other day when I was at Dollar Tree. And then I'm just going to kind of cut this down to size in the back with little straps to go over the shoulders like little overalls would have. And this project really made me smile. My grandfather was a farmer, and he lived in his blue jean, like bib overalls, and this really made me think of him. And I'm just gluing that to the front. See how I just kind of overlapped the fabric that was on the back? Super easy way to make like little doll clothes like this without any sewing involved. And there's a little bib front. We're going to glue that on, and then I have the little straps that we cut off from the back piece. That's why I made the back piece longer, is so I would have enough fabric to do those straps to go over his shoulders, and just hot gluing that to the front. Pretty easy little bunny clothes, I think. And then like for the little buttons, I needed something small. So I thought we could use just a couple of those little round stickers from the Dollar Tree to stick on there to make little pink buttons for his little bib overalls. And I think he turned out so cute. This is how he looks on my coffee bar for Easter. Have him next to a little directional sign for the little carrot patch. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you that I've introduced memberships for $4.99 a month. You can support my channel. You're going to get early access to my videos and other perks. So I'd really appreciate if you join and become a Crafty Beach Bum. But now it's time for the final reveal. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment your favorite Easter DIY below, or just come say hello in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. Thanks so much for watching.
I'm driving, you're smiling, just really doing nothing. That's the thing I like about you. On the highway, it's our way, Route 66, and we keep on driving. We just do what we wanna do. Yeah, no, nothing's complicated with you. Hey, playing songs on the radio, sing along to the words that we don't know how. Brings out the wildness. Let's just run away. Yeah, I could drive the whole along. Being with you is like being on the rodeo highways. Brings out the wildness. I got a little crush on you. You say that I'm crazy. It's just the way that I get every time that I am with you. Your laughter takes me to heaven. I just wanna make you repeat it and repeat it again. Yeah, you make the sky so blue. No, nothing's complicated with you. Hey, playing songs on the radio, keep on driving, we just do what we wanna do. Hey, play songs on the radio, sing along to the words that we don't know how. Brings out the wild ones, let's just run away. Yeah, I could drive the whole night long, being with you is like being on the rodeo highways. Brings out the wild ones, I got a little crush on you. Ooh, I got a little crush on you. I got a little crush on you. I got a little crush on you. I got a little crush on you.
Thank you so much to all of my financial supporters. And if you would like to watch more Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks that you might enjoy this video right here. Happy Easter!